between your hats, your entrepreneur hat, your manager hat, your implementation technician hat? I'm guessing the answer is yes.
I think most of us do.
I know, I have gaps. So part of what is the challenge to figure out is knowing when is the moment that you can actually train for your gap. And you have some native skill in that area, and maybe you just need a little bit of training to help build up the piece that you're missing. But sometimes you need to rely on others, and this is part of what you're going to be exploring a little bit here, is trying to figure out that place for you. And you're not going to decide this tonight, but to explore that moment of knowing when it's better to pay somebody to do something for you rather than to kill yourself in either trying to train for something that is never going to be easy for you to do. And as much as we would like to think that we can do it all, we can't. So that is part of our piece. The other thing that we're going to explore a little bit more is how many systems you can put into place that actually solve the problem of not having enough of you. It's amazing how a few checklists and good tracking tools can actually make your life easier as long as there's a system and you can move things through quickly. Part of what we get challenged by is when we're trying to do it all by ourselves, we don't have any systems because there's only one of us, and so we let things like email that shows up in our email box, we answer every single one right when or we have to read it right when it comes in, and that is like one of the worst wastes of everybody's time and emotional energy, is to look at that stuff when it comes through.
I just can't stop myself.
Yeah, you really are good.
Oh yeah.
You've got to work on that a lot, Chester.
He never gets his emails. I didn't get that email.
But those distractions, and particularly in this world that we're in right now, with the explosions of our attention deficit disorders because of the amount of technology and influences and impacts and crazy stuff that gets thrown at us every minute, it's harder and harder for us to focus. So finding systems that work for you, that allow you to stay focused so that you can finish something instead of being pulled in 57 directions because you're just responding to stuff. So that's part of what we're going to look at some ideas for. So in this next little section, it's finally a chance for you all to share about your lacks and skills. So let's see, we got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's just divide into 2 groups. And why don't we just do it like this? From Chester to Chris, and from Steve to Amy. And here's your goal, is to discuss and talk about the gaps that you have, and think about what do you want to learn, what roles do you want to keep filling, and which ones do you need to rely on others for. And particularly for you guys over here, because you are all part of College Crafts, this is a good conversation to have, which is how can we use each other differently and better potentially? And for you all over here, that same conversation within Gallery 123, but within even our community, what assets do we have that maybe can help fill our gaps in accessing what Berea College has in talent? What does that look like for a collaboration between artists? Those kinds of little conversations. So take the next 10 minutes or so and discuss amongst yourselves what is the challenge for you here, where do you need help, and see if you can brainstorm together how you're going to get that solved. And for some of you it may be, I need training in this area, and I need to figure out how to get that. That's important information for us to know about what do we need training in. Where are those gaps? And go.